As 2025 begins, it is helpful to remember that martial arts training is a singular pursuit, and we alone make ourselves good. No one, not even AI, can do it for us. We have to show up, put on our uniform, and put in the work. Currently, the onus of learning is placed upon the teacher. Pass or fail, mastery or no mastery, are all the fault of the teacher. In the past, the burden of learning was placed solely on the shoulders of the student. If the student did not apply themselves, they would never attain mastery. With that in mind, many teachers taught very little, but expected a lot. As they say, the best teacher is the one that is the most unreasonable. Being unreasonable means that they can't be bargained with, nor can they be manipulated into giving into the demands of the students. Tangibly teaching very little or being difficult forced the student to be diligent. In the past, when asked what qualified a person to be a teacher, they would only answer, "I am strict." They never listed their qualifications or awards that they had won, because those things are immaterial to developing a student. They believed that the only thing that they could give a student was discipline. In the past, they believed that a student had EG or willfulness, and it was the teacher's job to transform that obstinacy into kanjo or fighting spirit. EG is to have the willfulness to resist and fight against something, while kanjo is to channel that will and fight for something. Teachers enact external discipline while students exercise internal discipline. A teacher cannot give a student discipline. Self-discipline is often something that has to be realized. Only after adhering to the teacher's discipline does the student see the benefit of having discipline and adopts the standards for themselves. This is where a student learns the benefit of secret work. Secret work is something that Furuya Sensei once talked about casually. Secret work is some unspoken thing that one does to improve themselves that isn't readily apparent, and that they rarely talk about with others, nor is it enforced by others. On a certain level, secret work is gamification. Gamification is to play around the rules where participants creatively bend or interpret the established rules to achieve their goals. The teacher enacts certain standards, and the dojo has rules that need to be followed. In addition to those rules, there are a whole set of practices the students and teachers do that are unspoken. To the uninitiated, they can't even see them, but to the ardent, they are in plain view. Some of these things are secret work. It could be something as benign as making sure to stretch your legs before class because you previously injured that muscle. It could be as sacred as never stepping over weapons that are laid on the ground. Regardless of what, secret work are rules, practices, or standards that we place upon ourselves that are not necessarily enforced by others that we use to get the edge on our competition or to move our mastery forward. Here are some things that may only pertain to my dojo that I have noticed them doing since I was a student, but you can use to discipline yourself. Change your clothes in less than 5 minutes. While changing your clothes, you must always be half-dressed. Hakamas had to be folded in less than 2 minutes. You cannot fold a hakama in your day clothes. Uniforms should not be in disrepair or smelly. In your bag, your uniform had to be folded properly. Drinking water during class was frowned upon. Hydrate ahead of time. Sitting out when you were tired was frowned upon. Stay in shape. Pack your bag the night before. Have an extra uniform in your car. Never step over weapons. Never run or throw things in the dojo. No yelling or loud noises in the dojo, which included talking and laughing. Must ask permission before using someone else's weapon or the dojo weapons. There was no restroom. Use the restroom ahead of time. If you were to drive Furuya Sensei, your car had to be fueled up and clean, and you had to know where you were going. Call the dojo and inform the teacher that we are sick or going to be out of town. All injuries had to be reported. Be at least 30 minutes early. Be well groomed. Never overeat. It was expected that we maintain a regular training schedule. Never do anything which would distract or disturb others while they are training. These constructs existed before smartphones, text messages, or email. These things required one to be diligent and disciplined to follow them. Some of these things were in place to make sure we didn't waste time, while others were there to force us to think ahead. Every item on this list was unspoken. No one specifically said, "You have to do this." Many of these were born out of seeing Furuya Sensei get mad at someone else for making a mistake. In Japanese, an often used proverb is "Chiri mo tsumoreba yama to naru," which means even specks of dust, if piled up, can become mountains. Mastery is merely a mountain made out of specks of dust. Going to class creates a speck of dust. Being diligent and packing our bags the night before creates a speck of dust. With every effort, we create a speck of dust. It is a given that we have to put in the work. However, secret work enables us toil behind the scenes and get another speck of dust. Secret work is the difference between good and great. A good student shows up to class and trains hard. That's a given. A great student has already put in the work and uses class as a way to measure themselves. It takes discipline to think ahead and create strategies to overcome obstacles before they arise. Don't wait for the opportunity to arise or for someone else to make you good. Martial arts training is about being proactive, not reactive. 2025 is the year of the snake, and snake years are about self-discovery. Discover where your holes are and figure out ways to put in some secret work there. It will pay off.